Does honesty really matter? Yes, it very much matters. Honesty is not cultivated honesty, but to live in truth, being honest within yourself, living in innocence, living without conflicts. That is honesty. To live in honesty is to live your life. Living a dishonest life is putting up a show for others. Your whole life is wasted. J. Krishnamurti says in his letters to schools, one may be the honest about an ideal, a principle, or an ingrained belief. Surely this is not honesty. Honesty can only be there when there is no conflict of duality, when the opposite does not exist. There is darkness and the light, night and day. There is man, woman, the tall, the short, and so on. But it is thought that makes them opposites, puts them in contradiction. We are expressing the psychological contradiction that mankind has cultivated. Love is not the opposite of hate or jealousy. If it were, it would not be love. Humility is not the opposite of vanity or pride or arrogance. If it were, it would still be part of arrogance and pride and not humility. Humility is totally diverged from all this. A mind that is humble is unaware of its humility. So honesty is not the opposite of dishonesty. One can be sincere in one's beliefs, in one's concept, but that sincerity breeds conflict, and where there is conflict, there is no honesty. So we are asking, can you be honest to yourself? Yourself is a mixture of many movements crossing each other, dominating each other, and rarely following together. When all these movements flow together, then there is honesty. Again, there is separation between the conscious and the unconscious, good and the devil, God and the devil. Thought has brought about this division and the conflict that exists between these divisions. Goodness has no opposite. Within this, with this new understanding of what honesty is, we can proceed with the investigation of what is insight. So insight is required to understand the reality, the clarity. So humbleness and honesty are required for that. Osho says in his Felonia Perennis, you know the proverb, honesty is the best policy. Now, to think of honesty in terms of policy is the beginning of being dishonest. Honesty is not a policy. It is not a politics. Honesty is to live your life in freedom, in sincerity, naked, never to be false, never to pretend. That is honesty. Whatsoever the consequences, whether you are hated or loved, whether you are respected or disrespected, it does not matter. An honest person is one who lives in his utter nakedness, as existence has created him. He respects himself so much that he is ready to risk everything for it. You say that you have lived very hard. Honesty must have been an imposition on you. That is why it looked hard. Otherwise, a really honest person never feels that way. Whatsoever he has to sacrifice for honesty, he sacrifices. But it is worth it. His joy is tremendous. His bliss is infinite. And the more he sacrifices, the more he gains the joy, the more he rejoices. Thank you.